Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a little trip down memory lane. Now if you're a fan of classic TV like I am, you probably remember Kate and ALLIE. That's right, it was the story of two single moms sharing an apartment in New York City, raising their kids together, and navigating life one laugh at a time. And you might be wondering, what happened to Susan St. James, the actress who brought the free-spirited Kate to life? Well, stick with me because I'm about to fill you in on all the details. You won't want to miss this. First off, let's take a minute to appreciate how great Kate and ALLIE really was. The show ran for 6 seasons from 1984 to 1989 and was one of the most beloved sitcoms of its time. It was groundbreaking in how it portrayed single mothers as strong, independent, and capable. And let's face it, Susan St. James was a huge part of why the show worked so well. She played Kate with this perfect mix of charm, humor, and relatability. But after the show wrapped up in 1989, Susan didn't exactly stick around Hollywood. In fact, her story took a pretty unexpected turn. Now, Susan was no stranger to fame. She had already made a name for herself in the late 60s and 70s with hit shows like The Name of the Game, where she won an Emmy, and McMillan and Wife, where she co-starred alongside Rock Hudson. In 1980, she starred in the movie How to Beat the High Cost of Living. It was in this movie that she met Jane Curtin, who would later become her co-star in Kate and ALLIE. Kate and ALLIE would run for 6 seasons. Now eventually, by the 5th season, the show's ratings were starting to drop, and the continued decline of ratings in the show's final season is most probably what led to the show's cancellation. When Kate and ALLIE came to an end after the 6th season, she had already achieved more than most actors dream of. But instead of going from one project to the next, she decided it was time for a change. She stepped back from acting to focus on something that meant even more to her, her family. Susan had married Dick Ebersol, a big-time executive at NBC Sports, in 1981, and they had had 3 children together. After years of balancing a busy career with the demands of raising her family, Susan decided to shift her priorities. Now, how many of us can say that we would walk away from Hollywood at the peak of our career? But that's exactly what she did. And I've got to say, I think that takes some serious guts. But Susan didn't just disappear from public life. In fact, she took on a whole new role as a philanthropist. She's done a lot of work with the Special Olympics, and here's why that's so important. Her son Teddy, who had Down syndrome, was a big fan and participant in the organization. This cause became even more important to Susan as time went on, and her dedication is truly inspiring. In 2004, Susan and her family faced a tragedy that would change their lives forever. A plane crash claimed the life of her son Teddy at just 14 years old. Her husband Dick and son Charlie survived the crash, but this was an unimaginable loss for the family. Instead of letting the loss break her, however, Susan used it as a way to connect even more deeply with the causes that mattered to Teddy. She became even more active with the Special Olympics and other charitable work, and I've got to say, that's a testament to her strength and resilience. It's one thing to face hardship, but to turn that pain into something positive, that's really something special. So what is she doing these days? Well, she's living a much quieter life out of the public eye. Now, Susan still occasionally pops up for interviews, usually to talk about the causes closest to her heart or to reflect on the Hollywood days. She was awarded with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on May 30th, 2008. I think we could all take a page out of Susan St. James' book. Sometimes, the most important roles we play aren't the ones we're known for. They're the ones that matter most to us. Here's one last picture of Susan St. James and Jane Curtin together in Kate and ALLIE. They sure were great together. Now here's where I want to hear from you. How many of you were fans of Kate and ALLIE? I look forward to reading your comments. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel, where I mostly talk about the music, TV shows, and movies that I loved while growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. As always, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and have a great day.